let's talk about the full-time job. I know, of course, it would be more difficult to land a full-time job, but let's start with
Extremely difficult.
welcome to Bunny Abroad. Here we are again. I'm with Ubed, and we are going to cover segment 2, in which we are going to tell you about everything related to money. What would be the expenditure when you're a part-time student, and also what are the salaries here in Canada and in Norway, and how easy or difficult is it to land a job here?
Bunny, I think everyone wants to know how much is the salary.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much do you earn? What's the salary? What's the salary? How much do you earn?
Right.
These are the questions that I get asked all the time.
They want to
And
know.
I tell the students, you need to study first and then think about, it's a good thing to think about it, but still, I mean, you need to study, finish your education before you start applying
I
for
think they
jobs.
want to know if pursuing an education there would be worth the money that they are going to spend, because we come from South Asia and the currency conversion rate, so we have to spend a lot. Don't worry, we're going to cover that in this video, so make sure that
We will.
till the end.
And make sure you also click the subscribe button if you are new to the channel.
Right. So now let's talk about the monthly expenses first. When you were a student, what was the monthly expense? I know that you have made a video on that. So if you want the detailed segmentation, you can watch it for Norway on Ubed's channel and for Canada on my channel.
But I can quickly talk about monthly expenses, and then I'm going to ask, or I would like to know how much are the monthly expenses in Canada as well. So you can end up spending $600 to $700. I know students have survived and students can survive with $600 to $700 in a month. We have talked about in the previous video that education is free, but I mean, when you're coming to Norway, you should keep in mind that you would have a monthly expenditure, and that would be around minimum $600. So education is free, but I think it's not a bad deal. $600 a month, and you're getting the education and you're living in Norway. It's not bad at all.
Right. For Canada, I would say that if you want to live in Ontario, then if you want a private room, if you want to live comfortably, then it's around 1,000 Canadian dollars. But if you want a bachelor studio, the entire unit to yourself, then it would be, of course, around 1,500 Canadian dollars. But if you are living in suburbs, the price, of course, will go down. And if you're living in other provinces, there the monthly expenses would be pretty low. So it depends on the province here. We're talking about Ontario because I have lived here. So $1,000 enough for comfortably living. You don't need to be really sacrificing anything.
Yeah.
So that would be enough. So now we are done with the monthly living expenses. But if one thinks that they don't want any money from their home or from their savings and they want to earn it, so how easy or difficult is it to land a part-time job, and what's the salary range there?
Right. Very good question. And students, I think, want to know this more importantly. And they really want to know this. It's not easy to find a job, but if you know people, then you can find a job. But most of the students I've seen that part-time jobs, like odd jobs, for example, working at restaurants, cleaning job, this kind of jobs, many students are doing that, to be honest. And these kind of jobs, they don't require any job that don't require you to speak Norwegian. Student will end up getting that. But still, it's hard to find, but people eventually get it. Maybe it will take 2 months, 3 months, sometimes 6 months. If you're in a bigger city, maybe you can get it in a few weeks. So it's possible. Many students cover their own living expenses, as far as I know. So some students, of course, bring their own money, but many cover their own living expenses. So this is about finding the jobs. And if you talk about the part-time job salaries, the salaries are pretty good. There is this minimum benchmark that you cannot be paid less than that, and that is 160 Norwegian kroners. And that, I think, adds up to $20 per hour.
Okay, per hour. Okay,
Per
that's
hour.
$20.
Yes, so the salaries are really good, and if you and the students are not allowed to work more than 20 hours in a week. Yeah, so for a month it will be 80 hours, but if the students work 80 hours, and which most of the students do, they can make a pretty handsome amount, and they can also save money. The salaries are really good, and for some jobs you can even get 200 Norwegian kroners an hour. The part-time job salaries are pretty good. What about Canada?
So in Canada, it's pretty much the same. You can work 20 hours per week, and part-time jobs, almost everyone gets a part-time job. It can take time. For some students who do have a referral, their friends are already here and they are working at a restaurant or a petrol station, at a gas station, they can easily just refer them and they can get it within 1 or 2 days itself if there's a vacancy.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any connections and if you're applying online or just giving out the resume, then I would say that it can take 1 month, 2 months, or even 3-4 months, but eventually you'll get it. And
I just want to mention one thing. As you have said, when people are applying online, I would recommend you guys, when you come, don't apply online. Most of the times the vacancies are announced online, but if you apply online, you will never get it.
Right.
That's the truth. So you need to go to a store, to a restaurant, let them know, here's my CV, I want to work. This is how you're going to get the job.
Right.
If you just apply online and wait, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you won't.
No, that's even true in Canada. The response rate is pretty low when you are applying on Indeed. It's
Yeah.
more efficient if you just go to the store and hand out your resume and talk to
Yeah.
the manager.
Yeah.
And now coming to the salary. So the minimum wage here in Ontario is $14.20 or $14.25 Canadian dollars. If you work 20 hours a week for a month, then it would simply translate to roughly 1,000 or 1,100 Canadian dollars. And as I mentioned, if you want to live comfortably, then $1,000, and of course you are saving that 100. But a lot of people manage their budget within 600-700, so you would be saving the rest. And here, because education is not free, like it is in Norway, so a lot of people do that to not just fulfill their living expenses, but also to save for their tuition fee.
Yeah.
And one other thing I just want to highlight is, in Canada, if you're on a break, then you can also work full time.
The same in Norway.
Okay, the system is pretty similar there. That's about the part-time. Now let's talk about the full-time job. I know, of course, it would be more difficult to land a full-time job, but let's start.
Extremely difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
It's not like Canada or Australia or the US where students go. And I've heard that in Canada, it's pretty not easy, but I've heard that many students get jobs.
yeah.
In Norway, students do get jobs, but it's first of all, it's a lot of competition, and then since students don't put effort in learning the language, so that's a big barrier. And there are some fields where you can get the job where you don't have to speak Norwegian. For example, programmers, coders, where they just need to work, they can get jobs. But where there's a little bit of Norwegian involved, you won't get the job. Simple, straightforward. You need to learn the language to get the job. And if you talk about the salaries, they're also pretty good. And they range between like different field of education, but on average, when a student finishes their master's degree, you can expect to start around 450,000 Norwegian kroners minimum.
The currency seems a lot because you were saying, I was like, oh, 450,000.
Yeah, I think in dollars it would be between 45,000 US dollars to 50,000 US dollars. So that's the average. Like you can expect that.
Entry level job.
Yes, 45,000, $50,000, you can expect that. So I think that is a good salary as far as the expenses, living expenses here are concerned. And if you're single and if you get that much money, you will live like a king and you can save a lot of money.
Right.
But it also depends in some fields where, and if you're highly skilled and if you have a lot of experience, you may start with 60,000 US dollars or 70,000 US dollars. I am a bit harsh with people, with young students. When they come and they're like, oh, we will get a job. And I tell them, no, you won't, because I have been in your place and I've done all the things that you're thinking that you're a superhero. You come here, you do everything. That's not going to happen. You have to put the effort. You have to learn the language if you want to succeed. And that's an advice and whatever, a suggestion or whatever you consider. But you need to learn the language. So I have spent some time learning the language, and I think that has also helped me in getting the job what I have now. Because during my interviews, I was asked if I can speak the language.
Obed, I know that you have pursued 2 masters. So is it common in Norway that you have to pursue 2 masters in order to land a job?
Okay, so I have made one video on this, my story, where I have explained why did I do 2 masters. Simple, straightforward answer is because after my first master's, I didn't get the job. So I had to go back to school to find another master, a better master's where I have better skills. If you're coming to Norway and maybe you have been offered admission in some program, because my first degree, I knew from before when I was coming that it's a very basic degree. I won't learn that much, but it's, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So if you guys are excited about your degree, whatever, it's good. But keep in mind that if you're studying like something that is really basic, maybe you have to also do another second master's.
Yeah. It has to have a scope in that country, whatever you
scope. You need to have the skills, especially, I mean, if a Norwegian person would have studied that master, probably they would have ended up getting a job. But you have to keep in mind that you're coming from another country and you have to have some better skills compared to the people who are living here in order to get the job.
Absolutely.
So try to apply for good master degrees if you can. That will help you eventually in getting a job.
No, thank you for being so honest.
I am giving a reality check to all those people because when I came, I was like 23 years old, 24. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go study masters, get a job, earn millions of dollars. That's not the truth. That's not going to happen. You have to open your eyes and be prepared.
Right.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So how was your experience
Right.
and how is the job and the salary for full-time jobs?
Sure. So about the jobs here, if you have pursued a PG diploma versus if you have pursued a degree, of course, it would be easier to land a job if you have that degree and education from a university rather than a college. Of course, if it's a vocational course, then PG diplomas are preferred because most of the universities won't even offer those. Now, coming to the jobs, full-time job, how much time would it take you? It differs. It can even take 1 month, it can even take 3 months, 6 months, depending on your field, depending on the vacancies at that time. You
Yes.
have to network, you have to apply. So, networking, of course, in any country that will do wonders if you have any connections. Even if you don't, you can start with LinkedIn. You can send requests to people from your own school and then you can ask them about the career prospects. And if you have a good connection and if you are able to convince them that you would be a good fit for this particular role, if that vacancy comes up, they'll definitely then recommend you. Of course, that depends on the bond that you have created and your skill set. But networking is key. Of course, I got a job without networking. I mean, I networked, but then the job that I got was through applying. Of course, you can do both. You can play the numbers game, apply to as many applications as possible, and also on the side, network, not just to get a job, but also to understand the job market.
Yeah.
That's really important. And now I know you must be saying, no, let's come to the salary. So for the salary here, because people also come for bachelor's, master's, PG diplomas. So I'll tell for master's, if you are a fresher with no experience after your master's, you can earn anywhere between 45,000 Canadian dollars to even 80,000 Canadian dollars, depending on the industry, depending on the degree that you have pursued, and also depending on your people skills, if you can negotiate. So that's really important.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you are someone who did a PG diploma, then I would say that you can start at around 35,000 Canadian dollars, and the range can be up till 55 Canadian dollars for a fresher, 55,000 Canadian dollars for a fresher. And then, of course, when you graduate after your bachelor's, even I've seen people after bachelor's, like decent bachelor's, for example, BPA, they are also earning 50,000 Canadian dollars, 60,000 Canadian dollars. So that's the system here. And now if you have work experience, if you have an MBA, of course, you will be making, the starting salary would be roughly 90,000 Canadian dollars. Depending on the number of years of experience that you have, it will also shoot up. It's good for a decent lifestyle. But the thing here is that there's not much disparity. For example, uneducated people as well, if they are doing Uber or if they are doing these restaurant jobs, they can also easily make around 40,000 Canadian dollars. So
so
even
the salaries
if
are
you're
basically the
uneducated
same.
here, you can live a decent life. But of course, that should not be the aim for anyone. Just giving you the information. So I hope now you are happy that you know how much you can earn. And of course, it will differ depending on your skill set, your experience, your industry. So make sure that you have that in mind. And if you want to know what's the salary someone is earning at your target school where you want to eventually study or university, college, then you can just connect with them on LinkedIn and ask about the average salary of their job, of their entire batch. So that's a foolproof method of knowing sure that what would you be landing at. So I hope that this video was helpful, but the series doesn't stop here. We have the ultimate question answered in the third segment, which is the last one, where we'll talk about how easy is it to settle in Canada or in Norway if you want to permanently settle there.
And for that, you need to subscribe the YouTube channel, subscribe Bonnie's channel, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Until the next video, take care and stay happy. Bye.
Ciao.